Hello everyone, I'm Lily Kim and you're watching AAN News. Last week, President Bush's meeting with China's leader Hu Jintao had an abrupt interruption by a Chinese doctor. Wenyi Wang, a graduate from the University of Chicago, unveiled a horrific argument against the Chinese Communist Party. Lenny Kim has the details.
On Tuesday, April 25, 2006, one of the coldest days of the month, a peace press conference was held outside the Federal Center on Dearborn by Falun Gong members from the Chinese American community at 12 p.m.
It was on this day that more than 10,000 Falun Gong practitioners went to Beijing to appeal to their own government for legal right to practice their faith. The Chinese regime claimed that the practitioners intentionally surrounded the government compound. Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, accused the incident of political gathering with conspiracy of overthrowing the government and used it as an excuse for their brutal crackdown for the 7 years.
A group of around 15 members from the Falun Gong and Epoch Times gathered in protest to the Chinese Communist Party government concerning the horrific rumors that are arising about concentration camps located in the province of Sujiatan. Doctors, employees, and victims of the supposed camp are coming out as witnesses and unveiling brutal pictures and recorded data that actually shows what is going on in the camps.
And people have been put in labor camps, prisons, and been tortured to force them to giving up their beliefs. And recently, what do we find out? That Communist Party actually harvesting living organs from live Falun Gong practitioners and sell them for profit in the international community.
Epoch Times states the recent incident concerning Dr. Wenyi Wang's interruption on both President Hu's meeting with Bush was an act to bring attention to this humanistically unimaginable practice planned and conducted by her own.
If like an organ, they can only survive for a short period of time. Like a kidney can survive only 24 hours to 48 hours. How come Chinese Communist Party, they found a match and do the operation in 1 week? We can't have a bank of organ waiting there. There must have a pool of people waiting. In the United States, it takes 2 years or even more waiting time for kidney transplant. But in China, there's only 1 week. They have a huge network, and this organ harvesting involved with the police, involved with the army, involved with the hospital and the legal system. It's not individual.
Mainstream American media has not pursued deeply into the reason behind Dr. Wang's unusual behavior due to the sensitivity of the subject. Falun Gong is labeled as a violent cult organization by the CCP government, a group that actually spoke out against the cover-up efforts of the assassination of protesters at Tiananmen Square that occurred on June 4, 1989. Both parties are stating oppositional statements, accusing each other of foundations built on lies. Due to the weight of the accusation, an investigation concerning humanistic rights in China may proceed in the near future. AAN will keep our audiences updated on this matter.
For years, the Israeli government has been inviting Mayor Daley for a visit, and now for 1 week, the Chicago mayor is meeting Jerusalem officials, Tel Aviv in Israel, and with his counterpart in the Jordanian capital. A little tourist time has been built into his schedule, but the main focus, studying tough security measures. Daley will bring home that information that might be used back here in Chicago. The Daley delegation is fairly small, with only about 10 staffers and local Jewish community leaders. Professors, graduates, and undergraduates discussed recent Chinese and U.S. relations at Northwestern University. Our Ali Yun has the report.
U.S.-China's relational issues have been a focal point throughout the world. Due to the rapidly growing Chinese economy, international economy policies between U.S. and China have been increasing. Here at local university, a nonpartisan student group conducted a forum to help students participate in a democratic debate. Starting with a dinner session, invited panelists opened the evening by addressing students with their perspectives.
To delve into some of the deeper issues that are facing the U.S. and also facing China and how those are all playing out together, and also really trying to find some different questions and different answers to these questions in terms of what's the future holding for China, seeing as how it's growing so rapidly, really trying to figure out what role it's going to play in world politics and also in the world.
Our main objective really is to sort of raise awareness and just to hold a discussion on issues about China and about the U.S. I feel like a lot of times, especially in America recently, the two are sort of pitted against each other, and we're sort of like...
Many students found the forum useful. It was a chance for them to gain feedback through open channels. Topics of discussion include the Chinese economy and its influence on world market, foreign policies, and relations between Asian countries such as Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea due to the geographical relations.
When they invited me, what interested me the most is to raise the awareness among American college students especially about the importance of U.S.-China relations. And secondly, I think I want to, being a Chinese citizen, I want to dispel or to debunk some of these misconceptions about U.S.-China relations.
The U.S.-China relations panel also included the discussion that recently occurred between Dr. Wang's protest towards Hu Jintao's visit with President Bush. AAN, Chicago.
Sick of trying to shed pounds, running in place, and lifting weights? Aim to get in shape this summer at this martial arts school where you can get a well-rounded workout while learning discipline and self-control. AAN takes you to Song's Kung Fu Academy.
Master Song has been studying martial arts since the age of 13. A high-ranking member of the Taipei Taiwan Kung Fu Association, he is also a pharmacist and doctor of Oriental medicine. Master Song is a praying mantis expert and will teach you Plum Blossom Falling Fist, as well as some basic applications of the mantis hand.
Mike Kottenauer has been training with Master Song and now teaches men, women, and children the praying mantis Shaolin styles at Song's Kung Fu Academy. The praying mantis hand techniques are modeled after the swift motions of the mantis. Regular practice of the mantis Shaolin can develop speed, coordination, balance, endurance, and strength. 14-year-old black belt Albert Zhu says martial arts gives him control and discipline of the mind.
Control, discipline of mind, I think that's really important because a lot of kids these days don't have that. And by working at martial arts and really practicing, you'll notice a big improvement in a lot of your abilities and technique.
It's good for health. Clearly, it's a good exercise. You watch us practicing here and we're sweating, we're moving, we're using different muscles, bending our joints, doing things that we all should be doing on a daily basis in general, but maybe don't because of our work. We're working at a computer terminal, things like that. So it gets us good exercise. Helps practice the mind also. You push yourself to do things that you might not normally think you can do. Oh, I can't do that. It's something that we don't accept in martial arts. We push ourselves further. And with a nice supportive atmosphere such as we have here at Song's Kung Fu, it makes it pretty easy to really learn how much you can do and do more than you think you can do. So the physical, the mental, and then even Master Song would say maybe the spiritual way. And this doesn't have to do with any organized religion, but just kind of the way you feel about the world and yourself. It really helps improve the way you feel about things.
And Master Song says martial arts is also beneficial in those times when you're in danger.
And some emergency time we can grow self-defense.
You can come to Song's Kung Fu Academy, located at 4800 North Milwaukee, and try out a free class, or you can learn it all at home with his educational video series. In addition to all the styles taught by the Grandmaster, Shifu Mike Kottenauer and Shifan Michael Santilli, you can discover China's 18 weapons supervised by Grandmaster Ki Chun Song himself.
I think he's a great master. I think he's learned a lot. He's very helpful, and I've learned a lot from him.
The Asian American Institute held an award ceremony for Asians who had outstanding achievements this year. Lenny Kim was at the scene.
The Asian American Institute, alongside with Mid-America Club, held an awards and benefit dinner reception at 200 East Randolph last Wednesday. Around 200 Asian community members joined in celebration to congratulate award-winning recipients within the Asian communities.
Basically, it's an Asian American who is from Illinois or lives in Illinois now, who is also has achieved great things in their respective field, as well as contributed to the Asian American community.
Well, I think tonight's event is very important. The Asian American Institute is such a great group because it merges all the different ethnics, the different Asian ethnicities we have in Chicago together. And it's very important to reward and support the people that really stand out and represent our community to the global community, let alone Chicago.
Among the winning awardees was Linda Yu, anchor for 10 o'clock Channel 7 News, and Apnugar Women's Association, Asian Women Against Violence and Abuse Centers.
We provide culturally appropriate services to domestic violence victims of South Asia and other immigrant women. And this is a unique service, and ours is the first in the country that was set up to provide such services and the longest running shelter and comprehensive services in this area, linguistically, culturally appropriate services that is provided to the victims of domestic violence.
Many members of Asian organizations gathered for the milestone fundraiser, taking interest on the displays of restaurant coupons to sports memorabilia. Familiar faces in the Asian communities participated in the event to help commemorate the group and individuals for their community service and life achievements recognized by their citizens. The winners were selected through a voting process of the majority of board members from the Asian American Institute, reviewing this year's activity for each Illinois individual nominee.
Kimchi, one famous Korean traditional cuisine item, was voted as one of the top 10 health foods of the world. The delicacy can be found at the upcoming Taste of Korea. Lenny Kim tells us more.
The Kumsil Cultural Society, Korean American Community Service, and Chicago Salvation Army Community Church are co-sponsoring this fun, food-filled event where recipes and procedures of cooking a variety of Korean food will be presented. Many famous Korean chefs from many different restaurants will be present to demonstrate the tasty cuisines of traditional Korean food. All are welcome and encouraged to join, experimenting each individual's master recipe and dish. This is an invitation-only event, and a RSVP is required. Please contact Jin Lee at 773-319-1500 for reservations. The event will be held at the Salvation Army Community Church, located at 5020 North Pulaski, on Saturday, May 6th, starting at 5 p.m.
Still to come, various Illinois schools combine forces to become one. Playing the race card isn't just plain black and white, and our Lenny Kim takes us downtown to the nationwide immigration march, all up next on AAN.
In the classroom, I turn my head over this way, and there's a gangbanger looking at me, mad dogging me, throwing signs up under the table. I feel real scared for my life. They selling drugs, gangbanging. I done graduate from my mom. She watched this and yell at me, "You gotta graduate, you gotta get out of high school so you can get your diploma."
Students from different Korean American organizations gathered for the first time to combine for a United Student Association. Our Ali Yoon takes us to Northwestern University.
At Northwestern University, Parks Hall, Korean American students from various colleges, such as the Art Institute, University of Chicago, DePaul University, University of Illinois Chicago, Northwestern University, and University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, gather and discuss their ideas. It was the first initiative that student associations from different universities unified as one group. The idea to make connection started with Vivian Han, who is the president of the Korean American Student Association at Northwestern University.
We have a strategy called Connect, Unify, and Empower. So Connect is basically we want to connect people. We want to bring them together, give them a chance to even, an opportunity to come together and first of all meet one another. Unify is when we're going to come together and, come up with strategies on how we can better our Korean American community as well as our undergraduate college careers. And also Empower is we're going to further this by spreading it all over the Midwest region, by bringing together schools all over the Midwest region.
Connection began with a welcoming message from the co-chairs. Many Korean American students sat near tables and listened to what the speakers had to say. Afterwards, the Korean American student had a time to network, taste traditional Korean food. The food was sponsored by different Korean restaurants, and students were appreciative for their support.
Today I hope to kind of meet the different schools, see what their goals are, see how we can work together to help each other achieve their goals, and as a whole come together and just enrich everyone's school opportunity and just kind of grow in the community, the Chicago community as well.
The objective of Connection is to provide a place of opportunity for students to discuss about Korean culture, heritage, and build better relationships with businesses and organizations throughout the Chicagoland area. Connection is not only outreach to the Korean community, but also hopes to establish long-term connections in the Midwest. Alien, AAN, Chicago.
Playing the race card isn't just plain black and white. AAN takes you to Metalworks Gallery to show you that it's brown, red, and yellow too. What do you mean we all look alike?
What do you mean we all sound alike?
What do you mean we all act alike? Japanese-born jazz and blues musician Yoko Noge took a shot at her first art exhibit when asked by a good friend to join in on a show called Playing the Race Card. When she told them her idea, they loved it.
Take all the Asian women's face and let the audience guess which ethnicity of each one, and I bet they make mistakes. So they have to think twice at the exhibition. I kind of explain it could be done. And they said, that's a great idea, can you do it? And I said, yeah, but I have to ask Clark, my husband, he's a photographer. So I'll ask him, and if he said yes, we'll do it.
Can you tell me why you use black shirts and black background?
Well, I wanted to just emphasize the faces in some detail, and I told everybody, I'm just taking a passport photo. I'm not going to make you look like the beauties that you are. I want you to see what you look like without a whole lot of makeup, a lot of fancy hairdos, no jewelry, so that we just see the structure of your face, not to mention the wrinkles and anything else that shows up.
And lastly, Yoko had to find the subjects. One subject, Izumi Yoshida, said she was proud to be part of the display. How do you feel being a part of this art exhibition?
I love the concept of this project, so when they asked me, I was very happy to be part of it.
I myself was also proud to be part of Yoko's assignment. Viewers were to guess each subject's ethnicity, job description, and location of where they were born. I even had a tough time figuring out which Asian was from what country with which ethnic background. One viewer even felt bad for his stereotyping and learned a lesson.
I hate to say it, but I will ridicule myself on your TV. It's, the stereotypes. when I came to this country, whenever I meet folks and I met different Africans, you know, in Africa there are thousands of ethnics, and you know each other just by looking or by the voice or whatever. I made that same mistake when I came here. I hardly will know. When I see an Asian face, I couldn't tell which is which. So when I came today and look at this, by the time I flipped, I saw how wrong I was. It's very hard to tell. But then at the same time, I saw that all it takes is patience. The ability to look at people. When you're talking to people, I'm not sure if it happens to you, but I do know that it's an American syndrome whereby if you're in a sidewalk or in a public place, sometimes when they're talking to you, they are hearing your accent rather than look at you. So everything you've said at times is not heard. They then say, oh, where are you from? So I fell for it when I came here. I saw the faces. I would have vaguely presumed that those faces are all from the same place. But after I flipped the stuff, I thought I wasn't right. I wasn't correct. I didn't get anyone correctly. But then I went back and compared the faces to each other. Then I was able to see the differences in the faces.
For some, it just takes the time to know your history and geography. I was blown away by one little genius.
I'm kind of a geographer myself, actually. Okay. I really like history and geography.
Okay, so you're not really stereotypical or?
No.
Okay, what are all the Asian countries you know?
Cambodia, Micronesia, China, Korea, Japan, Saudi Arabia, all the Middle Eastern countries, the Philippines, all those, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, places like that.
Definitely impressive. Dozens of interpretations are on display of what it means to play the race card at this Bucktown gallery. The race card isn't just black and white, it's red, brown, and yellow too. Playing the race card runs through May 26. For more information and to find out exact show times, call 773-278-3331. Today, hundreds of minorities joined to promote the immigration reform throughout the nation. Lenny Kim brings us to the nationally supported walk right here in our city of Chicago.
All over the United States, thousands and thousands of immigrants gathered to participate in the largest ever immigration walk for our country on May 1st. In Chicago, thousands from different nations gathered at Union Park, downtown, to participate in this peaceful rally.
I'm a teacher at the Lozano School, and I feel that the law that they wanted to pass is incorrect because among the teachers, there's a lot of us who are working with immigrant students, and so therefore I guess we are all criminals.
Asians, Latinos, Caucasians to African Americans joined on this day to come together and make a firm statement regarding immigration issues for our government. The majority of ethnicities want to legalize citizenship for illegal immigrants currently residing and working in the United States.
We're out here because this immigrant rights reform is as important to Asian Americans as to any other immigrant group. There's 1 million undocumented Asians. We support the DREAM Act so that kids can go to college, and we really need to reform the family reunification so that people don't have to wait 12 or 20 years for their families to come and be together.
I think that the issues fundamentally of the realities of immigrants in this country has never been more visible than it is at this moment. So I think even just that is a huge victory. And of course we're looking to make sure that there is a fair process to citizenship, that we have amnesty and legalization for immigrants, and that we do have a better process to make sure that people can, who are in this country, who are the backbone of this country, are able to fully participate as full citizens in the U.S.
we're out here defending the people that are constantly helping out and, giving back to this country.
My mom's an immigrant from Seoul, and I never really took much time to consider what her experience was like coming over to the United States, and I think that this is an important event to be involved with, and it's part of history. So.
They also hope that families may be united in the country they want to live together in. Organizations such as Kylie were actively involved by promoting their communities to join in this movement. Everybody at the march believes that the foundation of this country is made of brave immigrants. This is an effort to show the government that immigration is a serious issue and that many citizens are hoping the right bills will be passed in future decisions. Lenny Kim, AAN, Chicago.
When I'm under, I'm weightless, I'm floating away, and all I think about is doing it again.
Michael Swan is under the influence of his volunteer swim coach. He helps Michael stay off the street and off drugs. Be a coach, a mentor, a volunteer, because you have something to offer.
Thank you for choosing AAN News for your choice of Asian news in Chicago. I'm Lily Kim. Tune in every Monday nights at 10:30 and catch our rebroadcasts Tuesday mornings at 8 for the latest on your community news.